My name is Mantira Patterson. I'm 35. And for as long as I can remember, my family has treated me like their safety net. Or, to put it bluntly, their walking bank account. I'll never forget the day it finally broke me. I came home, groceries in hand, and found my parents surrounded by neighbors at the kitchen table. They weren't sipping coffee casually, they were holding court. And my mom was smiling proudly as she said, "Mantira will save the vineyard, just like she saved Erica's." "Boutique and that restaurant disaster?" The room applauded. My dad even chimed in with numbers, confidently explaining how $250,000 should cover the debts and get us back on track. I froze, bag in hand, heart pounding. They weren't asking me to help. They were announcing to an entire room of people that I already had. That's been the story of my life. Growing up in Spokane, Washington, my younger sister Erica was the golden child. Blonde, bubbly, and constantly praised. She got dance lessons, art classes, encouragement at every step. I got lectures on being responsible and realistic. When I wanted to pursue landscape architecture, they told me to stick with accounting because it was stable. When Erica wanted to open a boutique at 22, they mortgaged their house to help her. You can probably guess how that went. The boutique collapsed when she spent more on decorations than inventory. The catering business? Gone. She never calculated food costs. The yoga studio? Dead within 6 months, and every time creditors would come knocking. Erica would cry. My parents would beg. And I'd be guilted into writing the check. Family helps family, my dad would say, as if that obligation only flowed one way. 15 years of this cycle. 15 years of my money cleaning up her messes. The vineyard was supposed to be different. A 20-acre gift from my parents for Erica's 32nd birthday. They swore this time she was serious. She hired fancy consultants, installed expensive irrigation, and threw a launch party that cost more than most people's yearly salary. 18 months later, the vines were dying, the soil was depleted, and the equipment was rusting. It wasn't just failing. It was beyond saving. And yet, here were my parents, promising the neighbors that I'd fix it. Not just in private, publicly, in front of the whole community. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, rage buzzing in my veins. For the first time in 15 years, the word no didn't feel selfish. It felt necessary. The following week was torture. Everywhere I went, people congratulated me on saving the vineyard. The banker, the grocery cashier, even the flower shop owner. Erica, meanwhile, acted like she'd already won the lottery. She hired PR firms, ordered custom labels, and told distributors my money was on the way. I drove out to see the vineyard myself. What I found made my stomach twist. Rows of diseased vines, weeds taller than my knees, machinery left to rot. $250,000 wouldn't fix this. $1 million wouldn't fix this. It was in that moment, standing in the dry, cracked dirt of my sister's dream, that I made my decision. I was done being their ATM. What they didn't know was that for years I had been saving. My freelance accounting practice was thriving. I'd been consulting with businesses across the state, quietly building up a nest egg. And I had a dream of my own. Not a failing vineyard. Not another handout. A mountain cabin. 40 acres near Cella, solar-powered, surrounded by forest, overlooking the Columbia River Valley. My sanctuary. I called my realtor that night and made a full-price cash offer. By the end of the week, the cabin was mine. So when my dad called, demanding we meet to finalize the vineyard investment, I agreed. I let them think I was ready to sign the checks. That Sunday, I walked into their dining room. They had the whole thing staged like a board meeting. Charts, documents, even Erica in a cream blazer, grinning like a CEO. Mom slid me a paper, Phase 1, debt relief. Phase 2, tasting room. Phase 3, expansion. The numbers had somehow grown to half. 1 million. I let them finish their speeches. I let them pitch me like I was a venture capitalist sitting on an unlimited fortune. And then, quietly, I opened my manila envelope and slid my own paper across the table. The deed to my cabin, purchased, paid in full. At first, silence. Then, confusion. My dad squinted, reading the price aloud. $280,000? My mom's face fell, her voice sharp with disbelief. You bought a cabin? With what money? We thought you were saving for the family investment. Erica's smile disappeared. Wait, what about the vineyard? The permits? The contractors? Looked at all three of them, and for once I wasn't shaking. I wasn't guilty. I was calm. It's not family money, I said. It's mine, earned through my work, saved through my sacrifices, and now spent on my future. I'm not funding another one of Erica's failures. The room exploded. My father accused me of betrayal. My mother cried about family loyalty. Erica wailed about humiliation and bankruptcy. But their anger couldn't touch me anymore, because I finally saw the truth. Erica wasn't successful, she was subsidized, and I wasn't boring, I was free. I picked up the deed, slid it back into my envelope, and stood. The vineyard was never a family business. It was Erica's project. And now, it's her problem. And with that, I walked out. The fallout was brutal. For them. Word spread fast in Spokane. The neighbors felt lied to, the local businesses were furious, and the revival project became a town-wide joke. The vineyard collapsed. Erica declared bankruptcy. The land was seized and auctioned for a fraction of what it cost. My parents? Their reputation was shattered. They weren't admired patrons anymore. They were seen as manipulative liars who tried to steal their daughter's future. And me? I spent my mornings drinking coffee on the deck of my cabin, overlooking the Columbia River Valley, finally free of their expectations. The biggest lesson I learned? Saying no isn't selfish, it's survival. Family loyalty doesn't mean sacrificing your life to enable their failures. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is step back and let people face the consequences of their choices.